All right, we're recording. And today, technically, I was supposed to release a hardware review, maybe a video game review, something quick. But on Wednesday, I believe this is Wednesday, July 1st. That was yesterday. You know, Sony kind of just shocked the world pretty much. Um, After announcing that in 2028 they're going to stop physical disc production. Pretty much physicals, video games, they're not making anymore. And there's a ton of, YouTubers, articles, Twitter or X was blowing up, and it just like shocked everybody because pretty much Sony owns Blu-ray. So the Xbox games, series games, it comes in a Blu-ray disc. 4K movies is all Blu-ray disc. So Sony has that upper hand. And once they stop making these physical discs, it's only going to be digital. And honestly, it's shitty because once it's only digital, you don't have that option of looking for the best price anymore. You can't you can't borrow a friend video game, and it definitely sucks. Like Sony really on this one, and I don't really curse often, but it's much deserved. They have that market share. People buy physical copies. Sure, not as profitable versus digital because the convenience wise, but the market is there. And Sony doing this is just to control that market share, to get as much money as they can from you. And it's a shame, honestly. We got people on X just roasting Sony. I'm gonna link up all these posts that they did, and it's hilarious. But it's also, sad to kind of see that in 2028, Spider-Man 3, Wolverine 2, I don't know, God of War, games like that, there's no physical copies. It's gonna affect a lot of the market share, the mom and pop shops or something, the retailers. And man, I'm just surprised that they went ahead and announced this thing so randomly on a Wednesday morning at I want to say it was like 6 a.m. Pacific time. So they announced this. They did two blog posts. They did two of it, and it's two bad ones. There's nothing positive coming out from this blog post. The second blog post that they posted up, same day, mind you, is that they're closing the digital storefront for the PS3 and the PS Vita. So honestly, like, what makes them stop? Well, what makes them have, the next PS5 storefront up, in the future? Like, they could just shut that down too. And then in 2030, 2035, there's no, like, you can't download your games anymore. You can't buy your games anymore. It's just a shame. Like, Sony, who owns Blu-ray Media, just announced randomly that they're going to stop making physical disc in starting January 2028, Like a lot of people, they buy their physical games. I buy my physical games. Sure, the convenience is that, um you always have that game on hand. You could lend it out. And yeah, I'm trying not to do too much cuts, but I'll probably cut off some of the dead air time or my processing time for these, like, just trying to grasp the situation. I've been a very big physical collector. To see Sony just try to take it away in January, not even try, they are taking it away in January 2028. Shocking. And definitely not what I expected from Sony. And we have to hold these companies accountable. Like they're there for the not for the consumers, but just for the profit. Like most likely they saw Grand Theft Auto 6 and saw that, Grand Theft Auto 6 is not a physical game. It's just a code in the box. So pretty much digital only, and it's breaking sales. And looking at, physical versus digital, like why does the game cost the same? If it's $70 on digital, it's $70 on physical. Like it doesn't make sense. It's digital. It doesn't have a case, the art book, or not even an art book anymore, just the artwork, you know. Man, yeah, it's super sad. And it kind of puts me in a situation where do I want to just do I want to still support Sony buying video games on their console? I have a PS5 Pro. I have tons of DualSense controllers, and tons of PS5 games. And when the PS6 comes out, which is another 2, 3 years from now, probably $1,000, it's not gonna have any physical games. Like, how does that make it for, success? Just crazy, man. Just a just a slap in the face for consumers. But let me go ahead and read what the blog post said. As consumer preference and a broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. And some people might be thinking like, "Oh, it's just for PlayStation games." No, it's the publishers, other companies. Sony own Blu-ray media. There's no way the other companies will not just release digital only now. Following this date, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in this format. Kingdom Hearts 4, release, please, 2027 next year. Because Sony over here, they're not trying to have a physical copy. Yeah, Square Enix, we need the physical copy for that. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical disc. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. Total bullshit. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovations in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether it's at retailers or PlayStation. Okay, you know what? I'm not. The problem is that with digital, they can still remove it away. If you look it up, I'll post it up. They removed a whole bunch of digital movies recently. That's what everybody's been talking about. A lot of the digital stores or games online, they get delisted. It could be licensing. Look at Deadpool that released on the PS4 and the PS3 back in the days. You can't buy that on the digital storefront. So for them to go directly into digital, it limits the consumers. There's no way around it. A lot of people might be thinking that you don't buy physical games, so you don't have to worry about it. But the prices still reflects those consumers. You have less options now, and just a slap in the face from Sony. It's not good. It's probably gonna just push people to get out of video games as a hobby because if you think about it, it's super expensive now. Games are 70, $80. We have Nintendo, which is great, and they, release constant titles and they still have physical copies for games. But what makes them from going this digital route too one day, you know, 8 years from now, 10 years from now? So it kind of puts me as a hobby where Probably, yeah. In a few years, I probably would get out of video games. I wouldn't buy any more Sony copies. Comment below if you guys are also as frustrated with Sony. We got to let them know. We have to, in a way, fight back. Like if they want to do this, it's crazy, man. I'll link up a video for, some of the news, but this news is supposed to be for next week. And it's too big of a news to not talk about or have its own separate video. Yeah, it's just a sad day. Sad day in 2028. PS6, I don't have any I don't have any curiosity for it. Sure, I will make content for it, but why would I? Spending over $1,000 and all my games are digital? I don't want that. I still want my option to choose digital or physical. That's it. So I'll catch you guys next time. I'm still gonna make some edits to make the flow a lot better, but later, guys.